Hello friends, in last lecture we have studied the steel as a structural material, their advantages and disadvantages, commonly used steel structure like towers, then gantry girders, building frames or roof trusses. So in this lecture we have to study the types of steel sections. These are the steel section we are generally use on site, that is angle section, I section, channel section and T section. I section is used for the as a beam section. Okay. In angle section, here we can see two legs, therefore it is called as equal angle section. The size of these both two legs are same, that is W and H represent the size of these legs. Okay, therefore it is called as equal angle section. If one leg is short than other, then we can call as unequal angle section. Next one is the beam section. In this figure we can see the A is the depth of this I section, then B is the this flange width. Okay, this is flanges, this one and this one is a flange, and this is the wave of that I section. Okay, it is also called as rolled steel joist. Okay, beam section are also called as rolled steel joist. Next one is the channel sections. The channel section, here we can see that D is the depth of this channel section, TW is the thickness of this channel, and F is the width of that flange, and TF is the thickness of this flange. Okay. Next is T section. In this T section, BF represented by a width of that flange, and small d represent as the depth of the T section. TW is the width of wave and TF is the width of flange. Now let us see one by one. First one is rolled steel beam section, that is I section. These I sections are further classified into Indian Standard Junior Beam, Indian Standard Light Beam, Indian Standard Medium Weight Beam, Indian Standard Wide Flange Beam, Indian Standard Column Sections, Indian Standard Heavyweight Beams. These are the full form of these abbreviations. Okay. In general, in MSBT exam, you have to ask the full form of this abbreviation. So ISJB means Indian Standard Junior Beam. These I sections are designated with the depth of the respective section in mm. Means we have to given in steel table ISJB 500. Okay, this ISJB 500, ISJB means what? Indian Standard Junior Beam, and this 500 represent the depth of that section. Okay, this depth of section is represented by this 500. Okay, next is, or where we can use this I section or beams, this use for a beam or column in a steel structure. Okay, next is the rolled steel channel section. These are further classified as Indian Standard Joist or Junior Channel, that is ISJC. Next, Indian Standard Light Channel, that is ISLC. Then Indian Standard Medium Weight Channel, ISMC, and Indian Standard Medium Weight Parallel Flange Channels, that is ISMCP. IS means Indian Standard. Okay. So where we can use these channel sections? Channel sections are used for column and purlins in a steel structure. Next section is a T sections. Okay. Then these T sections are classified into Indian Standard Normal T bars, that is ISNT, Indian Standard Wide Flange T bars, that is ISHT. Next, Indian Standard Long Leg T bars, ISST. Next, Indian Standard Light T bars, that is ISLT. Next, Indian Standard Junior T bars, ISJT. So where we can use these sections? We are used in water tanks or bridges. Next is angle sections. Angle sections represented by ISA, both equal and unequal. Means ISA 60 by 60 by 6 mm is given. Then 60 by 60 represent the size of two legs and 6 mm represent the thickness of that angle section. Okay, so angle section we are using for tension and compression member as well as in purlins in steel sections. Next is the use of steel table, that is IS 800 1989 gives the steel table. It gives the general properties of standard hot rolled steel section are given in this steel table. The properties like which properties are given this steel table, that is designation of that member, weight per meter, that is in kg per meter, then sectional area, depth of section, width, thickness of flange, moment of inertia, radius of gyration, modulus of elasticity or moduli of sections or section modulus also. Okay, so what is the use of this steel table? By referring this steel table, one can easily choose the sections according to the design requirements. Okay, here we can see the one page of steel table for reference. Here we can see that this is the one I section is given. D is represented the depth of that section. Okay, then R1 or R2 are the radius of gyration of that section, B is the width of that section. Here we can see the properties are given, that is designation ISMB 100. ISMB 100 means the Indian Standard Medium Beam. 100 represented the that depth of that section. Then mass means weight is given in kg per meter. Then sectional area is given. Dimensions, depth is given, width is given, thickness is given, flange slope are also given, radius of gyrations both sides are given. Then sectional properties, that is modulus of moment of inertia, then section modulus are also given. Okay, next is stress strain graph for mild steel. Okay, in this graph you can see strain is given on x-axis and stress is given on y-axis. This is the stress strain curve for mild steel, conventional stress strain curve for mild steel, and this is the true stress strain diagram. Okay, from point O to A, it is the region of limit of proportionality. Means it from this point O to A, material that is mild steel obeys the Hooke's law, that is stress is directly proportional to strain, that is linear region. Okay, next point O to B. Okay, this is the elastic region. Means A to B, from point A the material or mild steel start to change its dimensions. From this is the elastic region, means up to point B, if we are removing the load, the material or mild steel rod get its original position again. But after point B, that is a plastic state, in this state the material, that is mild steel, cannot regain its original size and shape. Here point C will represent the upper yield point and D is the lower yield point, and point E represent the ultimate stress, that is the maximum load or maximum stress the material taken. Okay, mild steel rod taken, and after that the stress is reduced and material get break or fracture rupture strength given at point F, that is it is the stress at failure. Next point is the types of loads on steel structures. The various loads which are likely to act on a steel structure, like dead load, live load, wind load, snow load or seismic load, that is earthquake load. So first is dead load. For this dead load, we are referring the IS code IS 875 part 1 1987. Dead load means a load which are constant in magnitude and fixed in position throughout the lifetime of the structure. Dead load in a building compromise the self weight of the structure, and all other loads like all permanent construction and installation including weight of walls, partition walls, floors and roofs. This IS 875 Part 1 1987 gives the unit weight of building materials and building parts and components. Second is the live load. We are referring for this IS 875 Part 2 1987. Live loads are those loads which are varying in magnitude and in position. It is also known as the imposed load or transit loads. It includes the external loads imposed upon the structure. Okay, in that this live in that the weight of the material, store, furniture, movable equipments. Okay, means the movable things we are include in a live load. Okay, live load is expressed as a uniformly distributed load, that is UDL. Imposed floor loads for different occupancies like assembly building, residential building, public building, industrial building or storage building are given in this IS code 875 part 2 1987. Okay, dead load means the self weight of that structure or the members, and live load means the movable things. In movable things there is the furniture also. Okay, next is the wind load. For wind load we are referring the IS code IS 875 part 3 1987. The wind exert pressure on the structure. The pressure exerted may be both external and internal. The external pressure will depend upon the geographical location of the structure, and the internal pressures depend on the permeability of the structure. In the design of the structure, combined effect of this external and internal pressure of wind will be taken into account. Next load is a snow load. For, for snow load, we are referring the IS code 875 part 4 1987. Okay, this load is taken in the region where the snow is fall. Okay, then actual loads caused by the snow depends upon the shape of the roof and its capacity to retain the snow. Okay, uh, this is generally in the northern side of India we are taking this load in consideration, or where the snow is fall. Next is the earthquake load. For earthquake load we are referring the IS code IS 1893 2002. For first four loads we are taking the reference of IS 875. Okay, that is part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. For earthquake design there is a separate IS code, that is IS 1893 2002. For earthquake load, uh, we know structures situated in the region subjected to earthquake shall be designed to resist for these horizontal forces produced in the structure due to the earthquake. Okay, we know there are the different regions defined by the IS region for earthquake. According to these regions we have to take the consideration of earthquake loads. That's it for today's session. Today we have studied 4 points. First, types of steel sections. Second one is the use of steel table as per IS 808 1989. Third is stress strain graph for mild steel. And lastly, the types of loads on steel structure, that is dead load, live load, wind load, snow load and earthquake load. Method of structural design we are discussing in next lecture.